Delete your debt without bankruptcy. Introduction. In the realm of personal finance, the prospect of bankruptcy often looms as a daunting solution to overwhelming debt. However, bankruptcy is not the sole avenue for debt relief. This report explores alternative legal strategies to discharge debts, emphasizing methods that preserve credit integrity and financial autonomy. Footnote. This section introduces the concept of bankruptcy alternatives and sets the stage for the subsequent discussion. Debt consolidation. One of the most prevalent methods for managing multiple debts is debt consolidation. This approach involves combining various debts into a single loan with a lower interest rate, thereby simplifying repayment and potentially reducing monthly obligations. Financial institutions and credit unions often offer consolidation loans, which can be secured or unsecured. It's imperative to assess the terms carefully, as consolidating debts can sometimes extend the repayment period, leading to more interest paid over time. Footnote. This section discusses debt consolidation as a strategy to manage and reduce debt without filing for bankruptcy. Debt settlement. Debt settlement entails negotiating with creditors to pay a lump sum that is less than the total amount owed. While this can significantly reduce the debt, it may negatively impact one's credit score and may have tax implications, as forgiven debt could be considered taxable income. It's crucial to approach debt settlement with caution and preferably under the guidance of a financial advisor or attorney to navigate potential pitfalls. Footnote. This section examines debt settlement as an alternative to bankruptcy, highlighting its benefits and risks. Credit counseling and debt management plans. Credit counseling involves working with a certified counselor to develop a personalized plan to manage and repay debts. These plans often include negotiating lower interest rates and waived fees with creditors. Enrolling in a debt management plan, DMP, can provide structure and support, helping individuals regain control over their finances. Reputable credit counseling agencies can be found through organizations such as the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, NFCC. Wikipedia +1. Footnote. This section outlines the role of credit counseling and DMPs in assisting individuals to manage debt without resorting to bankruptcy. Negotiating directly with creditors. In some cases, individuals can negotiate directly with creditors to modify the terms of their debt. This may involve requesting lower interest rates, extended payment periods, or even partial debt forgiveness. Success in these negotiations often depends on the debtor's financial situation and the creditor's policies. It's advisable to approach such negotiations with a clear understanding of one's financial capabilities and to maintain open communication with creditors. Footnote. This section discusses the process and considerations involved in negotiating directly with creditors to alleviate debt. Legal protections and consumer rights. Consumers have legal protections under federal and state laws that prevent unfair debt collection practices. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FDPA, restricts debt collectors from using abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices to collect debts. Understanding these rights can empower individuals to challenge unlawful collection efforts and seek remedies when necessary. Consulting with a consumer rights attorney can provide guidance tailored to specific situations. Footnote. This section highlights the legal rights consumers have in debt collection scenarios and the protections available to them. Conclusion. While bankruptcy may offer a fresh start, it is not the only solution to overwhelming debt. By exploring alternatives such as debt consolidation, settlement, credit counseling, direct negotiations, and understanding consumer rights, individuals can find pathways to financial recovery that align with their circumstances and goals. It's essential to approach these options with careful consideration and, when necessary, seek professional advice to ensure the chosen strategy is the most beneficial. Footnote. This section summarizes the alternative strategies to bankruptcy discussed in the report, encouraging informed decision-making. Note: the above report is a general overview and should not be construed as legal advice. Individuals facing significant debt issues should consult with a licensed attorney or financial advisor to explore the most appropriate options for their specific situation. Fundamentals of debt validation. Debt validation is a critical legal process that empowers you to challenge the legitimacy of a debt claimed by a creditor or debt collector. By requesting validation, you require the creditor to provide concrete evidence that you owe the debt, including the amount, the original creditor, and proof of their legal right to collect. This process protects you from unfair or fraudulent debt collection practices and ensures that only valid debts are enforced. Footnote: Debt validation enables you to legally verify the legitimacy of debts and protects against unlawful collection. Legal basis for debt validation. Your right to request debt validation is rooted in federal law, primarily the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, FPA. Under this act, debt collectors must provide verification of the debt upon your written request within a specified timeframe. Failure to provide this validation may limit the collector's ability to pursue collection actions or lawsuits. Understanding the FPA is essential to effectively assert your rights and compel proper documentation from collectors. Footnote: The FPA mandates creditors to validate debts upon request, safeguarding your rights during collections. Components of a debt validation request. When you request debt validation, you should specifically ask for documentation that includes the original creditor's name, the amount owed, copies of the original contract or agreement, proof of ownership or assignment of the debt, and details of any payments made. Crafting a precise, formal written request helps you compel the creditor to provide all necessary evidence, facilitating the accurate assessment of the debt's validity. Footnote: A formal debt validation request compels the creditor to produce detailed proof of the alleged debt. Impact of debt validation on collection efforts. Upon receiving your debt validation request, creditors must cease collection efforts until they provide the required proof. If the creditor fails to validate, they must discontinue collection activities, including reporting to credit bureaus and legal action. This suspension provides you leverage to dispute inaccurate or invalid debts and prevents unwarranted damage to your credit and legal standing. Footnote: Debt validation requests suspend collection activity until the debt is properly proven. Strategic use of debt validation. You can use debt validation strategically to buy time, uncover errors, or negotiate more favorable terms. It is especially useful when you suspect the debt is inaccurate, has been sold multiple times, or is beyond the statute of limitations. Understanding when and how to request validation enhances your ability to protect your financial interests effectively. Footnote: Debt validation can be a strategic tool to protect your financial rights and negotiate debt resolution. Conclusion: Mastering the fundamentals of debt validation equips you with a powerful defense against improper debt collection. By legally compelling creditors to substantiate their claims, you maintain control over your financial obligations and safeguard your credit reputation. Utilize this process judiciously to ensure that only valid debts impact your financial life. Footnote: Proper use of debt validation empowers you to control debt disputes and protect your credit. Advanced strategies for debt resolution. As you progress beyond basic debt management, advanced strategies provide sophisticated tools to effectively resolve debts while protecting your financial health. These methods often involve a combination of legal knowledge, negotiation skills, and financial planning to reduce liabilities, optimize repayment, and preserve creditworthiness. Mastering these techniques equips you to handle complex debt situations with greater control and confidence. Footnote: Advanced debt resolution strategies offer comprehensive approaches to manage and reduce debt strategically. Debt settlement negotiations. One potent strategy is to negotiate a debt settlement directly with creditors or through professional negotiators. You aim to agree on a lump sum payment that is less than the total amount owed. This requires clear communication, documented offers, and sometimes multiple negotiation rounds. While effective, it may impact credit scores and can have tax consequences, so it is critical to evaluate these factors before proceeding. Footnote: Debt settlement involves negotiating reduced payoffs to settle debts and requires careful handling of credit and tax impacts. Debt validation and dispute. Employing debt validation on a more nuanced level involves scrutinizing the debt portfolio for inaccuracies, unauthorized charges, or legal deficiencies. By methodically disputing these elements, you may have debts dismissed or reduced. This strategy demands thorough record-keeping and legal understanding to effectively challenge collectors and enforce compliance with consumer protection laws. Footnote: Strategic debt validation enables dismissal or reduction of debts through legal scrutiny and dispute. Use of statute of limitations. You can leverage the statute of limitations, which limits the time creditors have to legally collect on debts. If a debt is time-barred, you are not legally obligated to pay it. Identifying these debts requires knowledge of applicable state laws and careful management to avoid inadvertently restarting the limitations period. Utilizing this defense can significantly reduce your debt burden. Footnote: The statute of limitations offers a legal defense against collection of time-barred debts. Bankruptcy alternatives, debt management plans. Rather than filing for bankruptcy, you may enroll in debt management plans, DMPs, offered by certified credit counselors. DMPs consolidate payments and often secure reduced interest rates and waived fees. While not erasing debts, they offer structured repayment and credit counseling to restore financial stability without bankruptcy's severe repercussions. Footnote: Debt management plans provide structured repayment alternatives to bankruptcy with credit counseling support. Leveraging commercial law and UCC. Advanced practitioners may utilize principles of commercial law, including the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, to challenge the enforceability of certain debts. This may involve questioning the chain of title of debt instruments, identifying improper endorsements, or filing notices of dispute or commercial liens. These complex legal maneuvers require expertise but can be effective in resolving or invalidating debts. Footnote: Applying commercial law and UCC principles can challenge debt enforceability through legal mechanisms. Conclusion: Advanced debt resolution strategies combine negotiation, legal protections, and financial planning to create tailored solutions for complex debt challenges. By understanding and applying these approaches, you can significantly improve your debt outcomes, preserve your credit, and achieve long-term financial freedom. Seeking expert advice is recommended to navigate these strategies effectively. Footnote: Combining advanced strategies allows for effective and customized debt resolution beyond basic methods.